Joining me now in an exclusive primetime interview, a member of Dr. Murray's defence team, Lawyer Gourjian. Mr. Gourjian, obviously not a good day for the defence team. What went wrong?
Well, you know, I think what went wrong was a lot of the pretrial rulings that were made by the court in reference to some of the evidence that we plan to offer for the jury to consider. I think that's essentially what denied Dr. Murray a fair trial in this case.
And how did Dr. Murray react after he realised that he had been found guilty of effectively killing Michael Jackson, one of the most iconic entertainers of our lifetime?
Well, he was clearly devastated. He loved Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson was one of his closest friends, so being convicted of causing Mr. Jackson's death was devastating to Dr. Murray.
Where is Dr. Murray tonight?
Dr. Murray is currently at the inmate reception center where he's going through the booking process. Upon completion of his booking process, he will then be transferred to one of the facilities, which will either be Twin Towers or the Men's Central Jail.
What are you expecting as a member of his defence team will be the final sentence here? Obviously, he could get the maximum of 4 years. What do you think would be a fair punishment, given that he's been convicted?
Sure. The judge has several options in this case. The judge can either grant probation and sentence him to up to 1 year in county jail, or the court can impose a state prison sentence and either pick the low term of 2 years, the mid-term of 3 years, or the high term of 4 years. You know, I'm confident, and I believe, based on Dr. Murray's lack of a prior criminal record, I'm hopeful that the court would take that into account and give Dr. Murray probation with maybe a little bit of county time.
Let me ask you, I suppose, a difficult question, Mr. Gourjian, which is this, really, that if I'd come to you 2 years ago, before any of this was happening, and said to you, look, I can get a doctor to come to a celebrity client with 4 gallons of propofol and pile him up with this stuff all night long. I can have tape recordings of him completely gaga, and I'll leave him to his own devices while I go off and make phone calls and so on. I mean, you would have been uneasy as a lawyer about that situation, that state of affairs, wouldn't you?
Well, Pierce, we have to remember what happened here on June 25th of 2009. Dr. Murray did not have Mr. Jackson on a drip. And that's a key point here to consider. We had witness after witness testify that propofol is not a dangerous drug. It's a safe and wonderful drug. However, if the patient is on a drip, then certain precautions need to be taken. Certain monitoring equipment or certain resuscitative equipment needs to be present. But on June 25th, Dr. Murray did not have Mr. Jackson on a drip. All he administered was about 25 milligrams of propofol, and we knew through the expert witnesses that the clinical effect on propofol is only 5 to 10 minutes. So Dr. Murray remained by Mr. Jackson's side for about 30 minutes. So the propofol was completely out of Mr. Jackson's system and therefore could not have caused Mr. Jackson's death.
Will you, under those circumstances, then be launching an appeal against this conviction?
Excuse me, would we be appealing?
Yes.
Absolutely. That's something that we discussed with Dr. Murray already. He's got his appellate remedies available, and he intends on seeking those remedies.
And finally, I mean, what kind of state is Dr. Murray in tonight? I mean, he looked a fairly broken man as he was handcuffed and led from court. Are you concerned about his mental condition?
I'm not concerned about his mental condition. Like I previously said, he is devastated as to the jury's verdict. But as far as his mental state goes, he's good. You know, he's going to be positive. We have to get ready for his sentencing in this matter, and he's confident that the appellate courts would reverse the findings by the jury.
Lawyer Gourjian, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Pierce.